Hi, I'm Rascal from Mudcrab Stole My Bike, and this is Titanfall. So Titanfall is Respawn Entertainment's brand new FPS that they're going to be releasing in March for the Xbox 360, PC and Xbox One platform. So the footage that you're currently watching is footage I recorded using the Xbox One game DVR over the course of the beta weekends that occurred this weekend. So as I said, it's going to be released on the Xbox One, the Xbox 360 and PC platforms. This is mainly because Microsoft managed to nab themselves a little bit of exclusivity and pretty much cock-block the PS4 from getting a look in, which pretty much is the best decision Microsoft have made in the last few years, because the platform launch for Xbox One wasn't entirely smooth and there's lots of bad press going around, but as soon as this game comes out, you know, that's going to pretty much go away, and I think they're going to sell a lot of consoles, a lot of Xbox Ones to accommodate this. I know it's coming out for the Xbox 360 anyway, but you know, if someone's hanging on the fence between getting an Xbox One or a PS4, this game is going to be the decider for them. So yeah, just to talk about the kind of gameplay mechanics that this game has to offer, I'd say it feels like a weird mashup between Mirror's Edge, Call of Duty, Quake, and Armored Core sort of thing. You've got Armored Core being the mechs that you jump into. There's not really anything special about that. It's mechs, it's giant robots beating the shit out of each other. What's not to like? But like when you're playing as just the pilot, it looks very Call of Duty. I mean, that's the first thing that I noticed. Call of Duty fanboys might disagree, but I still think it looks very similar. But then with the wall running and the double jumping and everything like that, and how fast paced it is, and how quick you can get into spawning and then be right into the thick of it, reminds me very much of Quake gameplay. So yeah, over the beta weekend we had 2 maps available to us across 3 game modes. Just to talk about the maps, we had one map which was right in the middle of a city. There were buildings everywhere that you could wall jump between, and had loads of CQB sort of areas, as well as a couple of little bit of open areas. And then you had a bit of more open map area with a couple of buildings scattered around. Now, just to quickly talk about the maps and layouts. Now, even with the city-based street level, there were, it didn't feel cramped or anything. When you're in a Titan, you had plenty of options to go. There were loads of different roads in different directions and lots of little open areas as well that you could reinforce. It didn't feel cluttered at all, as well as the open maps. From the pilot's perspective, it didn't feel like you had to run anywhere to really get into battle. There were only a few minor occasions where I was thinking to myself, wow, where is everyone? These maps are big enough that you don't feel too cramped, but they're also small enough that you don't have to travel that far to get anywhere. So there are 3 game modes available to us during the beta: Attrition, Last Titan Standing and Hardpoint. Attrition is your basic deathmatch. It's the first team to get X amount of points and to win. Now, the points were awarded in varying levels. So if you kill one of the NPC soldiers, you get 2 points towards your team's total. If you kill an enemy pilot, you get 4 points, and if you kill an enemy Titan, you get 5 points. So just to quickly talk about NPCs before we move on to the other game modes. So unlike other FPSs on the market currently, like Team Fortress, Counter-Strike, Battlefield, Call of Duty, whilst you're playing, you're not just playing against players, you're playing against NPCs as well. Now, these NPCs, the longer the game session lasts, the more difficult they get. They start off pretty useless, they don't shoot straight, they have no HP, you can one-shot them. But by the time you get to the end of a particularly long game session, they get better, the AI gets better, they get stronger, they have better weapons at their disposal as well. Now, there are a couple of reasons why I really like this idea. The first one is that you never feel like you've left the battle. With like Call of Duty or Battlefield and Counter-Strike, you kind of, when you die and respawn, you kind of feel like you have to then, run back and get back into the fight. You very rarely feel that in this, because there's so many NPCs dodging around everywhere. You've always got someone either shooting at you or someone to shoot. It might not be another player, but if everyone's fighting in the corner of the map, you don't feel like you're in the middle of nowhere outside of the battlefield. You always feel like you're constantly in combat, and that's just really cool, and it adds for the fast-paced gameplay as well. The second one is that it helps new players as well. Quite a few times I've jumped into a brand new FPS that's been out for a few weeks, like Battlefield, and I've got like 0 points or hardly any points at all, and it's just really disheartening looking at the end score screen and you've like made little to no contribution to the team effort at all. With this system, because the NPCs are quite easy to kill, it gives a new player a chance to actually get some points. So if they feel that they're not confident enough in their gameplay that they can take down enemy players or titans, they can just run around and kill all the little minions and still rack up a nice amount of points and get a nice amount of XP, therefore progressing at a lesser rate, but at least making some progress towards, you know, getting a rank up and unlocking extra weapons. So the next game mode is Last Titan Standing. So this is another deathmatch style game mode, but with a bit of a difference. Everyone starts in a Titan, and the objective is to destroy all enemy Titans. Now you only get one life. Once you're dead, you're pretty much out of that particular round. However, you don't immediately die if your Titan dies. You can still play on foot as long as you don't die when you're on foot. Now you can play this in a few ways. You can either just be in your Titan and work with your other teammates to, you know, perform flank maneuvers and such to just try and single out Titans and nuke them down. Or you can kind of dismount your Titan and play on foot. The thing that I notice is that in this particular game mode, and even in other game modes, when there are 4 or 5 Titans up at a time, the people that are actually inside the Titans aren't really paying much attention to who's on the rooftop shooting rockets at them. Their main concern is to not get their ass kicked by another Titan. So you can find that you can really just hide yourself away and just pummel them with rockets, which is quite cool. So just talk about Titans while we're on the subject. So the Titans are the big robots that are featured in this game. Every few minutes you'll get a prompt on your screen saying that your Titan's ready. Once it's destroyed, it will go back down on the cooldown. You have to wait for it to become available again. What you do is you highlight the area of the ground using your cursor where you want it to go and push the button prompt for Titanfall, and it will drop down. So Titans have their own abilities and even their own loadout as well, so you can really get into the customization of your character, not only just selecting your preference for your pilot's weapons and grenades and all of that jazz, but you can also have the same for your Titan too. So some of the abilities that the Titan has, it's got a shield that you can invoke for a brief amount of time, which absorbs bullets and rockets, and you can just use it to fire it back at the person who fired at you. Also as well, your Titan has a bit of a boost that you can use. You can use a couple of times every few seconds, which is good for just maneuverability. I was incredibly surprised at how smooth the movement was and how unclunky it was. So I went into the beta thinking that the Titans were going to be really, really overpowered. Turns out they're not. They're just only as powerful as the people piloting them. You know, if you've got some guy who's just Leroying through the map with a Titan, he's going to die. Everyone's going to shoot him, and it's just going to be pointless. But if you've got a really skilled player or people that are willing to work as a team, so if you've got multiple Titans up and they're all, you know, kind of watching out for each other, you could be really effective. The worst thing is just getting a guy jump on your back and shoot you. That's the worst, because you have to disembark your Titan and then go and shoot him. But if you're with another guy who's in a different Titan, you can just watch out for each other. So the last game mode in the beta is Hardpoint. Now this is very similar to Battlefield's Conquest game modes. There are 3 points on the map that you have to go and capture and hold from the enemy team, and the more capture points your team currently holds, the more points you get towards the end victory. And that's pretty much it really. That's the Titanfall beta. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more with the actual release, but they've only, you know, given us these 3 to test with. I'm really looking forward to it. Some extra features that this game's forced that we noticed. You get challenges as well. Now these challenges pop up on your screen when you complete them. There are loads of different challenges that offer different rewards, either XP, you know, gun unlocks, or burn cards. And the challenges are quite varied as well. They're not just for, like, you know, killing X amount of people. You've got some for distance travelled. You've got some for distance travelled whilst hanging on to a Titan. You know, how many people you booted in the face, etc. So that's quite cool. The next one is burn cards. So burn cards are these little cards that you unlock either by leveling or completing challenges. Now the burn card could either have, you know, give you double XP, give you a sniper rifle, or, you know, a weapon of some kind, or they give you a bonus towards your Titan. Now you can only equip 3 burn cards at a time. Once you've used the burn cards, they disappear forever, and you have to equip a different one. Now you don't have to use them; they're completely optional, and they last for 1 life. So, for example, the Titan one, there's a burn card to give your Titan his special ability fully charged when you first call it down. So instead of having to wait the 2 minutes or however long it is for your special ability to charge, you've got it pretty much as soon as you call it down. Now you can only use these once per life. So if you, for example, use a burn card to give you a sniper rifle, and you use that burn card, you respawn with the new sniper rifle and someone boots you in the face, the second you spawn in, that's it, it's gone. You know, it just gives you a little bit of an extra bonus, and you know, it can potentially make you a bit overpowered for a round, but it's not like, you know, they give you like loads of XP or loads of bonuses for an extended period of time. You get it for like one time only, which is quite cool, and they're quite easy to unlock as well. My only concern is that, you know, it being EA, they're going to try and monetize this and make you buy it a bit, you know, make you buy these packs, or card packs. But I don't know if Respawn are going to really go with that. But anyway, my advice would be to convince all your friends to buy this. Not only is it cool to build a community of a game that's going to be incredibly successful, but you know, I had most enjoyment playing this with mates, especially playing 5 hours of this over the this weekend with one in particular friend who I've just linked his Twitch TV channel below. So anyway, yep, that's Titanfall. Like and subscribe, and we should be putting more content up when the game's released. Thanks, bye.